Hello, everyone. This is Olivia Walker, and I wanted to add to the video that I had initially made. First of all, what I added was a video of someone literally running me off the road and the reaction of the person who had the dash cam who gave me the video. They're like, "Oh God, what the?" And I just wanted to emphasize to everyone that these things happen to me. And sometimes I find myself comforting those people who observe what has happened to me. One morning, I was in Marietta and I had ordered a cup of coffee. And through the drive-through, and I went to sit in my car and drank the coffee, and I had a friend with me as my witness. And so when I finished the coffee, I drove past the drive-through, and a woman in the line, she waved me down, and she was in tears, and she said, "Oh, those people were talking about you. They were saying such awful things to you, such awful things about you, and pointing to you." And, I didn't really feel bad for myself, but I felt so bad for her distress that I wanted to cry for her. And then back again, the guy who gave me the recording of someone trying to run me off the road, he was so upset, as you can tell. And that's not AI. That really happened to me. I'm the black car. So also the Emory student, there was really an Emory student in the car with me when people were opening the doors and I had to slam on the brakes. So I just wanted to add these real life cases and these real life people who observe what happens to me. And, one more thing. And I was like, well, why do these things happen to me? And then I stumbled upon Psalms 35 written by David. And I realized that the things happening to me are timeless. And I just have to ask for the protection of a higher being, as well as for blessings from a higher being, as well as to praise a higher being. So I have added this precursor to the video that I have so you can put it all in context and know that these things are really happening to me. Thank you for listening.
What the fuck?
Olivia Walker's mother was on disability for approximately 20 years. During that time, her mother made her own decisions, and Olivia assisted her in her care for much of those years as her daughter. During her mother's life, social services had been in the home, spoke directly with her mother, and found no issues. Approximately 5 years prior to her death, Maddie Bullard was advised to enter hospice care, which she declined. She lived approximately 5 additional years. When her mother died at the age of 76, in her 77th year, Olivia Walker was accused of elder neglect and later felony murder. No one is accusing Olivia Walker of physically harming anyone. Olivia Walker is the daughter of a United States military veteran. Her father fought in Vietnam, served more than 20 years in the military, and is buried at Arlington National Cemetery. She grew up riding on military planes. He served this country for democratic ideals, including due process, fairness, and the rule of law. And yet, in this case, Olivia Walker has been deprived of due process. The search warrant originally used in this case was faulty. It included allegations describing the residence as a personal care home, a characterization the justice system now denies. At the outset of the case, Olivia Walker received more than 100 attorney mailers referencing elder neglect in a personal care home, indicating that this designation existed in official or quasi-official records at the beginning of the prosecution. More than 5 years later, a second search warrant appeared, one that neither the district attorney nor Olivia Walker's defense attorneys have stated they were not aware of. The document surfaced 5 to 6 years into the case. All forensic and biological evidence in this case was destroyed, making independent testing impossible. The law states this information is to be preserved until the case is adjudicated and even after. The state's case now relies solely on photographs interpreted years later, without the underlying physical or biological evidence available for verification. Even Olivia Walker's name is misspelled in the court system, and despite repeated notice, it has not been corrected. Accuracy matters in justice, and even the most basic details have been ignored. There is also a pattern of public humiliation and bullying directed at Olivia Walker. The county-issued license plate on her vehicle read CUK 8987. CUCK, this occurred while she was in a consensual relationship with a younger man, a personal detail that became a source of ridicule rather than relevance. Before any of these events, Olivia Walker was brutally beaten by multiple women and left for dead. She reported the attack and provided evidence. No one was held accountable. After she complained publicly and formally about that failure, and after her mother's death, Olivia Walker was suddenly charged with neglect. It was the only charge that could be used, as she did not fit any other criminal category. Olivia Walker sought to be an upstanding and respected citizen. She holds a master's degree in industrial organizational psychology, has consulted in her field, participated in the gig economy, and intended to pursue a career in clinical counseling, a profession in high demand. Because of this case, she has been unable to pursue those paths. She continues to serve her community through independent work, including small business endeavors. She did not drink heavily. She did not use drugs. She was not involved in crime. What follows is not speculation. It concerns process, evidence, and the absence of both. This is not about emotion. It is about whether the justice system followed its own rules and what it means when it does not. Olivia Walker's dad had a stellar record in military service. In Vietnam, he gathered bodies off the battlefield and tagged bodies, and made sure that American citizens received the remains of their loved ones. Olivia, as his next of kin, arranged for him to be buried at Arlington Cemetery, so his service could always be appreciated. Yet the same democratic ideals he fought for have not been extended to his child. He made sure families were made whole as best he could, but the justice system is used arbitrarily and precariously against his daughter because she used her freedom of speech to complain about being left for dead in the middle of the street, and no one cared to investigate it or find the perpetrator. Yet at the first moment, they could accuse a good person of something they did. It was not just her dad that served as a small child. When her dad moved, she had to move too. Her family served too, and yet the United States is depriving her of due process, calling her a CUCK on license plates, and refusing to spell her name correctly in court records, destroying evidence and manufacturing search warrants. Olivia's dad would cry when he talked about how horribly he was treated to integrate the schools for people of color to be truly equal, yet a county run by people of color does not think Olivia Walker deserves justice for being left for dead in the middle of the street, and instead of finding justice charges he with a convenient crime to shut her up about being left for dead in the middle of the street.
Justice for Olivia Walker.